Wonderful morning to you out there. Time check is 8 minutes gone the hour of 9. My name is Eustace Okere, and this is how I welcome you to Morning Discourse right here on Boss Radio 98.9 FM. Today we have something to discuss. Yes, something of politics and somehow connected to politics. Yes, it's of politics in the sense that it concerns the well-being of our children and, of course, the plan for the future generation and, of course, the future leaders, and connected to politics in the sense that it has everything to do with the government in terms of its provision. I'm talking about the education system. Yes, the education system, education of our next generation. And of course, the topic is titled Our Education Sector and Tomorrow's Leadership. Our education sector and tomorrow's leadership. That's actually what I have for you this morning. And in no distant time, we shall kick the ball rolling. Yes, of course, I won't be doing it alone. I have someone in the studio, a gentleman of repute, who actually will be helping to do justice to the program, and even as I expect also someone from the side of the government to also call in or appear right here in the studio to do justice to this very topic. All right, so in a short while we'll be kicking the ball rolling. You are still here on Boss Radio 98.9 FM and it's Morning Discourse. Don't forget that. And I did tell you that we are looking at the education sector, our education sector, and the future of tomorrow's leaders. That's education sector and tomorrow's leadership. That's actually what we have coming your way this morning. So you draw your seat and, of course, leave the dial on 98.9 FM, which of course you'll be having this discourse with us. Remember, you can also join us from any part of the world via YouTube, Twitter, and of course Facebook handles. Yeah, just type Boss Radio 98.9 FM Owerri, and you will be part of the discourse this morning. And like I did say, I'm not alone in the studio. I have a gentleman right here in the studio who will be helping to do justice to the topic today in the person of Chief Chuks Ajelu JP. He actually is the coordinator of Atiko Kowa volunteer management team, and of course a former two-time PDP chairmanship aspirant 2016 and 2020 here in Imo State. Good morning to you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure. And of course, remember, you're also part of my guest, so you'll be calling in once the phone lines are opened to ventilate on the topic this morning. I also said I'll be expecting calls from the SA to the governor on public communications as well as secondary education management board. So they'll be calling in probably within the period to ventilate on the topic as well. Well, it's no longer news that our educational sector is in a comatose situation. The last time I mean there were news of course. Okay, let me not go into that because I'll be bringing that shortly. But currently we have issues of increment of school fees, especially in government-owned schools, the unity schools, precisely, where school fees was increased from about, I think, 15,000 naira to well above 100,000 naira. Yes, that's about 100,000 naira. That's what our students in the unity schools, that's federal government-owned secondary schools, would be paying as fees, and parents are lamenting over that. How are they going to cope with that, especially in the face of subsidy removal, in the face of the present challenges, insecurity inclusive? Well, the situation is not so different in the universities, where we have constant fees increment or hike. You're aware of the one at the University of Lagos, and of course the Lagos State University, respectively, and of course across the various states owned universities. I mean, the stories abound. All right, so we also have cases of, nonchalancy among the lecturers in various universities and of course tertiary institutions, as well as the nonchalant attitude of teachers in secondary schools. The primary schools are so no exceptions. So you see, it is actually a challenge. Maybe you may wish to take a trip across the schools, both primary, secondary, and even the universities, to find out what is actually happening. The extortions are becoming so alarming, and most products of the schools cannot even defend the certificates they parade. And more recently, there was this video making rounds about students in a particular secondary school right here in Owerri that were sitting on the floor to take lectures. And of course, that video actually was posted on the social media, and it went viral. And that speaks, that presents the education right here in a very bad light. Now, in the midst of all this, what do we do? What is the best way to go? Because any investment in the education sector is an investment in the future of our country, in the future of our state, because the children are the leaders of tomorrow. This is actually the reason for the topic this morning: the education sector and tomorrow's leadership, as it is titled. And of course, let me come to you, the guest in the studio, Chief Chooks Ajelu JP. I want to start with you. What exactly is happening in our education sector?
Thank you, Eustace, for having me. Good morning, Ndemo. I think you have railed out a litany of issues that are bothering and affecting our society as we speak, and more especially the one that concerns us in Imo State. I come with a heavy heart this morning. I think when the invitation was made by yourselves to me, I'm an old boy of Emmanuel College. Let's call it spade. I know you want to be diplomatic about the issues. The video that came about that went viral and the pictures saddens me as an old boy of Emmanuel College. And I tried to reach out to the Old Boy Association to see what we can do, and it has given us a negative light, and I'm not too happy about it. But like Nelson Mandela said, he said education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And if that is the foundation, like we all know, you don't build something on nothing. And what we have is a situation where the educational sector has not been taken into cognizance of society building. And that, like you said, is the foundation of the next generation. An educated mind is an enlightened mind.
Exactly.
And if we have a society that is lacking education, then we have a problem. And once you look at it, what is the situation? I had to look at the information that is readily available at everybody's disposal. And that is the 2023 budget. And having had some few times to look at it and analyzing the facts therein, and I tend to wonder what the administrations, those we have given the saddle of leadership to be able to give us those basic foundations in which the society will be built on, and what they presented to the House of Assembly in December 2022. And I looked at that budget, and I see a budget that had a figure of 474.4 billion naira. And breaking it down and what the administration told Ndimo through their representatives at the House of Assembly. And I put it to Ndimo for Ndimo to now interrogate that document. He said at the time that the budget was to satisfy the desires of the residents of the state by delivering sustainability development of dividends of democracy and expanding wealth for them. And if this is what the chief executive of the state, who has integrity and capacity before him, and on the floor of the house, is telling Ndemo that this budget will cater for them. And Eustace, if you now go into verifying and looking critically at this document, you see that the capital expenditure is about 374.6 billion, representing about 78.8%. And the current recurrent expenditure is about 100.9 billion, which is about 21.2%. Then the question is, if I go back to this quote by Nelson Mandela, that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And if you now look at the education sector of this budget, it beggars belief. And Ndimo, I think this morning, Ndimo should be able to look at this document on their own and be able to draw inferences from it. Education, that we are all saying, is the foundation of an enlightened society. The total expenditure on education on this document is 17.152 billion.
Okay.
The capital expenditure, breaking it down, is 15.472 billion. The total recurrent expenditure is 1.679 billion, while the overheads is 1.404 billion. Personnel is about 275.7 million. Now, when you look, my maths is not that good. I give it to myself. But the overall sector, the percentage allocated to education is a paltry sum of 3%.
Wow.
And you start to wonder and ask the questions. And these are where these foundations come out from. And then my school, which is and this is one because Emmanuel College is a city school.
Exactly.
We have thousands and one schools in the hinterlands in the village that even doesn't have a roof over their head, that sits on a mango tree, under a mango tree, to be able to get the education and be impact knowledge on the tomorrow of our today. So you look at these issues and you tend to, but let me shock Ndimo today. In this peace document, now there's a sector that calls under the subheading of governor's office. The total expenditure on the governor's office, Ndimo, hear this, is a total of 34.461 billion. Wow. Tell me what they cook in the government office that gobs the sum of 34.461 billion compared to education of 17.152 billion. Tell me, is this a government that is purposeful? Is this a government that is responsive? Is this a government that is catering for our tomorrow today? It beggars belief. But what concerns me is the quality of education be out there. But I believe, and sincerely, Ndimo should be able to make a choice. And when you look at it in the governor's office, the total recurrent expenditure is 22.397 billion. Come on, who does this to his people? And Ndimo should be able to ask these critical questions and be able to come out with a result and give it to the people's. I'm not here, I'm not a spokesman of the People's Democratic Party, but having interrogated people who are formulating the policies around.
Yeah, because I needed to ask you, comparatively, what the situation used to be under the PDP administration and what we have currently. I mean, do you think it has been the same, or is there any kind of difference or points of divergence?
Absolutely. There's you see, everything is out there for the public to be able to adduce their decisions and be able to compare apples and oranges. In the PDP government, Imo has never had it this bad before.
I'm talking about education.
Education is top notch. You and I, even the last 8-month administration of Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha, you can see a government that is up and doing about education. You can see a government that took education as a priority. You see a government that is responsive to the people's yearning and knowing the import of education to our children and those who are growing up. You see the departure, it is glaring at the face, smacks you in the face, but that has and all the things that were put in place in the PDP administration under Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha, those things have been thrown out to the window, if not to the chimneys.
Many would also say that most of the reforms and will I say pragmatic steps in the education sector we are taking during the Rochas administration via his free education policy and rebuilding of certain infrastructures. I mean, what do you have to say about that?
You see, I'm not here to knock administrations, and probably because PDP runs through my DNA. I believe in taking the good from the bad.
Okay.
If the Rochas administration that brought into our public domain the free education, what we need to do is look at that document, look at the entire vision. I know he means well from Ndimo to be able to give us that free education at the time, and people did enjoy and benefit from it. So it was a foundation laid. But what happened after that? Did the successive governments look at that and tweak a bit where you need to tweak about and be able to now carry that vision? And like I said, governments are a continuum. You continue from government. And what we have in this country, sad to say, is once I come on board, I discard what used to have done, I start my own and then run with it. But I need to look at the good things in what you have, your administration has put in place, and build on it. And it's for the greater glory of the people.
Exactly.
And if we are in truth and in word providing that dividend of democracy to the people, we should be able to take into cognizance the good things, the positive things, and be able to reform it, tweak it, to adapt to the situation in which I'm occupying or your administration is occupying. And then, sad to say, I come on board, I discuss what is done, I continue my own. Probably 4 years, the people have thrown me out of the chimney. Somebody comes in and continues. Nobody picks up from where you used to have stopped and be able to now incrementally
that's really so bad. And of course, in case you're just joining us, it's Morning Discourse right here on Boss Radio 98.9 FM, and this morning we are looking at the education sector and the tomorrow's leadership. How is it going to be in the future, considering the present and of course reality in the education sector? All right, so you too can be part of the program. All you need to do is to join us via our social media handles on Facebook, on Twitter, and of course YouTube, all at Boss Radio 98.9 FM. Remember, you can also drop your WhatsApp message via our WhatsApp number 0806 999 2999. That's actually the WhatsApp number, and I will take that again, 0806 999 2999. In a short while, I'll be reading out the phone line so that you could also call in to ventilate on the topic this morning. So far, you've been hearing the voice of Chief Chuks Achelu JP. All right, and of course, he's an old boy of Emmanuel College. Okay, let me ask you, Chief Chuks, as an old boy of the college, how did you feel seeing that video of your alma mater, I mean the students of your alma mater, learning while sitting on the floor? But you will take that after the break.
Thank you.
We have 98.9 ways to keep you entertained. Other stations can keep the change. Boss Radio, 98.9 FM. Radio for the boss mind.
Glow-J Beauty Empire is organizing a 4-week training on hair braiding, fixing of nails, weave-on, eyelashes and wig crafting, hair cutting, dreadlocking, massaging, facials, microblading and lash extensions and other body treatment techniques. Classes start from 1st to 31st August 2023. Registration is ongoing at Glow-J Beauty Empire, behind Dreamland Hotel, World Bank Road, Area A, New Owerri, or call 0915-571-1737. That is 0915-571-1737 for more information. Certificates will be issued at the end of the training. Seize this opportunity now.
My brothers and my sisters, my name is Senator Samuel Nemekanyanwu. On a brother and Pikin, Sam Daddy. As election on the reach, so I take God begona. Because I no go kill anybody. That's the way you kill today, or person where you kill up tomorrow. You don't know whether a person where God send me can help you. The thing where you did for man, either for an election, no pass the life of your fellow human being. I take God begona. Make you do I'm suffering. But God bless honor, bless Imo State. My name is Senator Samuel Nemekanyanwu. Sam Daddy.
One love can set us free. We just let it be.
Have you thought about where you're going to have a meal today? Havana Cafe 24 is the place to have a great meal at a great price. The rooftop cafe offers English breakfast and freshly brewed coffee, cappuccino, espresso, and Americano. We also offer continental and local dishes with cocktails you can think of. There is something for everyone. Havana Cafe is outstanding and quality service. You can also check our menu online at havanacinemas.com. Havana Cafe is available for special bookings and events like birthday parties, bridal showers, and reunion. Visit us today at Havana Place Rooftop, All Seasons Avenue, New Owerri, or you can call 0901-242-8262. Enjoy karaoke every Friday and Sunday from 4 p.m. Havana Cafe, taste the luxury lifestyle.
Akwụkwọ nsọ kwuru na nwoke ga-ahapụ nne ya, hapụ nna ya, gbakwuru nwunye ya na ya bụrụ ofu. Ha ga-abụ ofu awụ na imegbu ya na ịkụ nwaanyị ihe, mana ọ wụ iji ịhụ ya n'anya ejikwa n'anya anya. Ịkụ nwaanyị ihe na imegbu nwaanyị anyị ekwesịghị ịkwado ya n'ezinụlọ anyị. Gịnị na-eme n'ala Igbo ugbu a? Elee ihe kpatara ndị nwaanyị anyị na ụmụnne anyị ji anwụ n'ihi mmegbu na ịkụ ha ihe n'ezinụlọ anyị? Elee otu ọ ga-adị gị ma nwa ị mụtara n'afọ ma nwanne gị nwaanyị a na-emegbu ya na-akụ ya ihe otu isi akụ nwunye gị ihe? Biko, ihe ahụ ga-eme gị akụ nwunye gị ihe lepụrụ ya anya, agbanyeghị otu o ji kpasuo gị iwe. Imegbu nwaanyị na ịkụ nwaanyị ihe ọ karịra n'ala anyị. Anaghị ihe a emeela ọtụtụ ụmụ nwaanyị anyị na ụmụnne anyị ndị nwaanyị anwụọla n'ihi ya. Ndị nwoke ibe m, biko n'ishiri ike awụ n'ahụ nwunye gị ma n'ahụ ụmụ gị, anyị kwesịrị inyere ha aka, hụ ha n'anya, lezikwana ha anya. Ụmụ akwụkwọla nwaanyị ụlọ ihe ụmụ egbebụla ha, ka anyị kwụsị imegbu na ịkụ nwaanyị ihe n'ezinụlọ anyị. Ndị wetara ozi a bụ ndị Boss Radio 98.9 FM Owerri. Aha m bụ Evangelist Mike. Biko, udo dịrị unu.
Where there's a boss, there is a law. We've created the law for other stations to abide. The new Boss Radio, 98.9 FM. Radio for the boss mind.
you're welcome back. It's still Morning Discourse right here on Boss Radio 98.9 FM. And I'm Eustace Okere, or you can simply call me Mr. E. So far, we are looking at the education sector and tomorrow's leadership. And I have with me still Chief Chuks Ajelu JP. He's also an old boy of Emmanuel College. I asked you a question, Chief Chuks, and of course, I would need you to react to that now.
Thank you. I think when that piece of information circulated, I reminisce on my time at Emmanuel College. You know, sitting down, reclining on my seat, and gazing out to the skies, and be able to evaluate the education during my time and what we have today. And it was sad. Really, it was sad. And I was looking at my alma mater in such a dilapidated state, a situation where government doesn't give two hoots about what's going on in our schools and colleges. And you know, at my time, things were in place. In as much as resources were meager, I think we had the best of facilities. We had a conducive area to learn. We have chairs, we had tables. You know, we had more or less at the time something that will give you that basic start in life to be able to now listen at your lecturers giving you, dishing out the lectures. And when you sit on the floor, come on, it beggars believe what you have at the end of the day. Is that person comfortable enough to listen to the teachers? And you saw it was like folk telling in the villages where one of the Nzes will come and be able to, in the tell moonlight of the day, tell stories, and children gather around him. You know, you tend to see what are the standards we are setting. You know, and government should be able to roll their sleeves and take responsibility where it is. You know, Emmanuel College is coming out to the fore because Emmanuel College is Emmanuel College and is situated in Owerri. But you and I should be able to now know what happens in thousands of colleges and primary schools and tertiary schools that are in the villages. You know, no roof, rainy season. You know, it's appalling. And most of those in government got the best of education, got the best of the situation where they are now. Whatever education qualification they had, the foundation was built on these basic facilities. You know, it hasn't made that Emmanuel College happened to be the one in the forefront. But if this will be able to bring an awakening to the government to say, hey, we are chasing the wrong horse. This is what we need to do as a responsive and responsible government to be able to provide that basic startup point for our tomorrow. All
right, and let me ask you without prejudice this time, and of course as an Imolite and a pro-Nigerian, I want to ask you this question, you know, talking about the educational system, the schools, especially within Imo State here. Do you think is true that the situation at Government College has actually been refuted by the principal, saying that there was nothing like that actually? But do you think the government has lived up to expectations? I want you to answer emphatically if the government has lived up to expectations in terms of educational development.
But the indices by which you arrive at an answer or give it to a means to be able to explain is in the document that the government has presented. Okay, you understand? So from there you draw your inference. You can't build something on nothing. The document that I referred to you and to Ndimo was the budget of 2023. And what are the things it contained therein? And if those figures are right and correct, like they are, and being deliberated by 27 honorable members who are representing the people at the House of Assembly, what is the output? Like they say in the computer, garbage in is garbage out. So what you put on the document, the document we are saying is wanting to write it. Implementation is another thing. So in the process of implementing it, we are not going to get the 100% ascribed in this document. So you see that the percentage of these figures will now fall short. by way on the roadside. This will go, So at the end of the day, any responsive government should be able to now focus on education. And I believe the incoming, to me, I see the document and I've evaluated it. And being somebody who is close to those who are formulating the policies of the PDP candidate, distinguished Senator Samuel Anyao, the issues contained are the issues that are burning in the hearts and desires of Ndimo. You see, an administration, like I said it here, I think some few months ago, that a candidate emerged on the 12th of April. On that same day, in his welcome speech, he now reeled out his manifesto. There is no other Guba candidate who have done that till I speak to you today. He made somebody who is thoughtful.
All right, let's not go into campaigns right now. I think it's high time I opened the phone lines for our listeners to be part of this discourse this morning. And in case you do not know, the numbers are 09092229922 or 09122677989, and I'll take that again, 09092229922 or 09122677989. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you this morning?
I'm good. And you?
I am also good. My name is Pastor Smart Nachi, and I'm calling you from Owerri. All
right, Pastor Smart, go ahead.
Yes, when you talk about the educational sector in Imo State, I think the present government have not done so well on that aspect. In spite of the fact they have also done well on other aspects. They have done well on roads, construction and reconstruction. They have done well on security, even if it seems the impact on security have not been felt very well, but they are trying their best on that aspect. But I have not seen the same strength, the same agility, and the same measure in the area of the educational sector. Our Reuters Okorota set a pace that if the subsequent administrations had followed it up, Imo State would have been the best in education as long as Nigeria is concerned. He launched the free education from primary through university level. At that time, the people in the tertiary institutions in Imo State were paying 20,000 naira to access that free education. And I want to say clearly, it encouraged more Imolites to go into tertiary education, especially those from very poor backgrounds. If that very policy or program was sustained, you could imagine how many graduates the state would have been churning out by this time. But it is this idea of when a new government comes in order not to promote the former government, they will be dismissing every policy of the former administration, whether good or bad, and start a new one in their own name, because they are only after promoting their name and not after the well-being of the people.
All right.
If you are a government that is after the well-being of people, you are
people are happy to read, people are happy to send to the lectures due to how he has, authorized the education sector here. So I want that to, reintroduce in this administration or in the subsequent administration, honestly. Because if you go into our federal schools, even starting from primary school, you see that it's just standard school to basic class. Teaching. Then the structure still dilapidating. If I don't know, I know that of Uzi primary school that's along the road there. That structure that's already erected. If you see they are using it for educating, what is the present administration? What is the Minister of Education doing about that stuff? They should go and visit that place, honestly. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ebenezer, for your contribution right here on Boss Radio 98.9 FM. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my good people in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning, our guest. My name remains Frank, that always call from Worsley at Precisely. Sir, I like the topic you are taking this very good morning concerning education. Because in my early education, I learned that
no assembly member today. Tell me a president who is not taught by a teacher. Huh? Let our country today value education more than every other thing in life, so that we can get it clear. Thank you, my good people. I have a blessed week.
All right, thank you, Frank, for your take. 090-9222-9922 or 091-226-77989. Our education sector and tomorrow's leadership. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. E.
Good morning to you.
It's Emma Okuna, calling from Brother's compound, Owerri, Lolo. As a public commentator, first we are buying their books. They were feeding themselves. They were paying for their accommodation. And up till now, before you go for the national service, you clear yourself. Is that free education? We should be aware of what they say. If you don't know what to do, don't talk. Leave the people who know to do their job. And that's one of our problems here. Because those in leadership go in there because they are opportunity to belong to political parties. Where many of their members are gullible. They work their way and come out as representatives. Who they are representing, we do not know. So what am I trying to say about education? Our problem is that, like the last caller said, those managing our education system do not know what is meant to be education. We are told in comparative education that a system cannot rise above its educational system. People who have been in education for a very long time, and even in civilized climes, teachers are paid higher than even medical doctors and the dentists. So what is the state in Nigeria? Nothing. People are laughed at. Even when teachers retire, they are not paid their retirement benefits. Some of them earn less than 1,000 naira a month. Nobody appreciates their effort. And how do you want us to develop? So what am I trying to say? We have receivers all over the place.
Right.
And one of your commentators, if he happens to be a minister of education, he is going to offer us anything what he does not know and appreciate. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Prince Imo Okwara. Good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, my good people in the studio.
Good morning.
Yes, I like the topic we are treating this very morning. Let's take education. With education, we can reduce poverty, we can reduce insecurity, we can reduce joblessness. We can reduce a lot with education.
Right, fine.
So I am saying it so clearly for people to invest so much in education. Invest in education so that people to enjoy it tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Samuel Serrala.
All right, welcome, Honorable Collins Wala, the SA to the Governor of Public Communications. Good to have you.
Well, thank you.
All right, sir. It's good we have you here, and of course, I think it's timely, and we really need you to throw light, even though, yes, we've gotten the refutal on that video that actually went viral on social media pertaining to students of Emmanuel College right here in Owerri, that we are sitting on the floor to receive lectures in the classroom. That actually brought a lot of negative comments on the part of the government and, of course, education in the state. And I need you to react to that.
Okay, first of all, many things you see on the social media are not what they appear to be. And if you take them the way they appear, you'll be misled. And a good example is the video and the photo in question. And I want to say that this is where the media should play a better role. You know, when things like this pop up in the social media, the media should go beyond discussing the issue to actually finding out whether it happened, whether what was portrayed in the social media was incorrect, is the true position or not. Because it is a waste of everybody's time to come on the mainstream media to begin to discuss what is not true, to debunk what is not true, and to assert that what is not true is true. So, having said this, I want to add to the reporter from the school to say that what happened, that photo and the video we saw last week or so, is a hatchet job. You know, it is something done to fight the state government, and those who did it know themselves. And if you go in the diaspora involved, that those people needed the photos and the videos of the hall so that they will equip the hall. Now, I was told that the school management gave them to go ahead.
All right.
Now, but unknown to the school management, these people had ulterior motive. So
you mean the old boys?
Yes. This was that, yes, they had ulterior motive. Maybe they are members of a certain political party or so. So they had ulterior motive. What they did was to convince some innocent students to sit on the floor so that they take photos and tell to these boys they are members abroad, but that was actually what they wanted to see. So the innocent students complied. And if you check very well, that is not a classroom sitting arrangement. It's not a classroom sitting arrangement. And there was nobody teaching them. The lady also, the other person in mosque is not in uniform. It's not a member of the, sorry, it's not a staff of the school.
Okay.
So that, yes, and once they got those photos, they released them on social media to tell you their ulterior motive. They bring them back to the school, so okay, now we have got the pictures, this is how we want to go about it, we have contacted our people, this is what we want to do. And as we speak now, the so-called old boys have disappeared in thin air. They are not talking again.
All right, Mr. S.A., can I ask you?
What happened was clear mischief. And the school has come out to say, look, this was a mischief. And we should take it like that.
All right, Mr. Collins, can I ask you a few questions? Now, one is, why will the old boys of a college, a secondary school, be such mischievous towards their own alma mater? That is one. And two, I want to know why Emmanuel College of all the schools within and outside Imo State. Could there be something?
Now, this question you are asking now is the same question some of us are asking. Why would some members of the opposition play politics with insecurity? And why would they do it in Imo State? So these are questions we cannot answer, but the only answer we can give you is that it is mischief. They have political reasons. They want to send the governor in a very bad light. Election is around the corner.
And tarnish the image. And tarnish the image of their own alma mater.
Some people can go to any length to play politics. The same way some people are doing in Imo State with insecurity. They don't care whether people are dying. They don't care whether properties are being destroyed. They don't care what is happening. What they care about is that thing they want to do. And we are asking these people to please stop. Please stop. It is enough. You can't run down this state. This is the only state we have got. We should not destroy our state for political reasons. So those people who went to, whether they are actually old boys or not, but they said they like this guy. Their reason was political, and they believe they have achieved it. But people know better.
Okay.
They know that, yes, they know better, and everybody has seen it that this is clear mistake.
All right.
You can go to the school today or tomorrow, you will find out that there is nothing like that. Students don't take lessons sitting on the floor.
All right.
There is nothing like that, and it doesn't happen in any school in Imo State.
Okay. All right. I also want to ask, since it's obvious that the government seems to know the people causing this mischief, even the insecurity in the state, will it be out of place to go after such people, get them arrested, and possibly prosecute them?
The thing is, everything is not about arresting people. Somebody is on a journey for mischief and he wants to begin to arrest. The first thing to do is to begin to tell our people not to destroy this state themselves. Politics will come and go. Every election cycle we see this kind of thing, this kind of mischief, this kind of blackmail. We should begin to tell our people. We should begin to educate our people on the right way to behave. We shouldn't play politics with everything. We should play politics with everything. We have seen what is happening about insecurity, what the state government is spending, the effort being made to address insecurity. And other people are busy coming up with other kinds of mischief. We should stop all of this.
All right. And of course, a little bit away from the mischief and all the insecurity and all that, I want to ask, what exactly is the state government doing towards kind of developing, or let's say bringing up the education sector within the state? Because it does appear that much attention is being given to maybe road infrastructure and some other things. I want to ask, what exactly is the plan of the state government towards education?
I don't know. Let me, before I talk about the education sector, let me talk about the health sector. I don't know whether you are aware that we now have three brand new hospitals in the state. Three brand new general hospitals in Owerri, in Oguta, and the Umuakane in Ohajebe local government. Courtesy of this government, you go to this general hospital, you need to ask yourself whether this is happening in Imo State. So what the governor is doing in road infrastructure is replicating itself in the health sector, is replicating itself in the education sector. The government is providing quality, affordable education, and we have seen it all this past 3 years. So apart from, and of course the government is recruiting teachers. This is in the effort to bridge the personnel gap, to be able to have the actual number of teachers that will be able to teach in our public schools. The government is also rehabilitating schools. That is part of the fiscal infrastructure. Apart from recruiting teachers, the government is rehabilitating schools, and we see these things across the political world. We talk about the tertiary education. You see, Imo State University is a school of pride now. You see the teaching hospital. You see how many doctors the school has graduated. You look at the University of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. You look at of course, you know that very soon Abanikoku will be unveiled as a University of Education, and that is what the government is doing, and everybody can see these things. Let me borrow a phrase from former Governor Adam Soshomole. These are things we can eye-mark, not ear-mark. You're not hearing about them. We are seeing them. We are eye-marking all of these things. They are here with us. So the governor is performing in all sectors. The way he's building roads, he is also replicating same effort in the health sector, in the education, in all sectors in the economy. So the governor is doing so much, and we are seeing these things. That's why you can see that most people are happy with what he's doing. All right. Everybody is talking about the governor's return, the governor's second term. Everybody is in tune with it.
All right, I want to
across the board.
Okay, I want to ask: are you also aware that education received one of the least budgetary allocation in the last appropriation act?
For the state?
Yes, for the state.
So if you want also to report the percentages, you have to also come up with the percentages for other sectors. So that we're going to look at what was the priority at the time and why, and what was the budget for the education sector in previous administrations and why. So we must have this background for us to have this discussion on these percentages.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So we have this background so that we're able to have
all right, thank you.
The context.
Okay. Okay, for now, I would have to let you go, Mr. S.A. Thank you very much, Sir Collins Ola, for coming on the program.
So thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you. And of course, in case you do not know, Sir Collins Ola is the SA to the Governor on Public Communications, and we had him there trying to give us some insights into what actually happened and other programs of the state government. All right, we'll continue to take some calls before I would like allow Chief Chuks Ajelu to react to some of the comments. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning, my good people in the studio.
Good morning.
Yes, I like the topic.
Yeah, please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, that's good. My name is Stephen Frank, calling from Worcester, honestly.
All right, Frank,
as I said so clearly, you can't give what you don't have. And we are praying for those who have the passion of education to be in the leadership. But as it is in Imo today, we have seen a young, vibrant man, the PDP candidate, who have been saying it so clearly to the youth of Imo State concerning education, concerning the passion we have for education. I am speaking it so boldly from Imo life, honestly, to rally around the youth around him that is able to deliver the dividends of democracy in education. So I said this so clearly. Say Sam Daddy.
All right, thank you, Frank, for calling back. But I wish you could allow other callers some space to do that. Yes, so that they can also ventilate on the topic this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning once again.
Good morning,
Ebenezer. Sir, there is something that the SA said, and it was like referring to you as a journalist, sir, that if you will go to the schools, if not that of Emmanuel College, to see things for yourself and know how on what to say, then I will only say that the Ministry of Education, the Commissioner for Education, to me, he is silent in the state. Honestly, there should be a talk in all of our schools, starting from nursery school, starting from primary school, then to secondary and that of tertiary institution, that the state in this nation, in this Imo State, honestly, because there are so many students that teachers are not even attending, teaching or lecture. Honestly, the teachers are not even coming to school. Honestly, you see the structure everywhere. There are schools that we enter, you see that they are using most of the classes defecating. You see most of the schools, being bushy. These are the things that students will inhale and they will contact disease. So I wish that you go and see things by yourself, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Benitha, for staging that comeback. And of course, in case you're just joining us, we are looking at our education sector and tomorrow's leadership. That's what we are looking at this morning on Morning Discourse right here on Boss Radio 98.9 FM. And of course, you may have been following the calls, including that of the SA to the Governor on Public Communications, Sir Collins Ola. Remember, in the studio with me is Chief Chuks Ajelu, who actually has been doing justice to today's topic, and I want to ask you, Chief Chuks, JP, to react on what most of the callers have said.
Thank you, Jesus. I think majority of the callers at least are aware of what is happening in this sector, and both from Pascal to Ebenezer, Frank, Emma, Owerri, Biri, and the essay that called in, the percentage of these callers are Imolites, and they know what is on ground. And the essay that came in, Collins is a friend. He defends the government. I don't want to enter into a slinging match with him. but it will be a well orchestrated ploy to run Emmanuel College down by what he insinuated here. Is neither here nor there. And when you asked him on the percentage of education in the overall budget of 2023, you kind of seen his answers, and that doesn't give us some hope that there will be a rapid change in the educational sector. Now, like I said, the documents are there for Ndimo to see and to be able to assess. Now, if he's saying that you should be able to look at previous budgets, look at the percentage of education, and then look at the percentage of education now, then you, with all those details, we can be able to now comparatively analyze the figure. But I'm really focusing on that same document that is in the public space and that was presented by His Excellency to the House of Assembly. The percentage of education compared to the percentage allocated to the governor's office. I'd like him to call back if he's hearing my voice, to be able to explain to Ndimo the disparaging figures when a government house is being allocated 34.461 billion. It beggars belief. And then education that we say, and Michael Forbes rightly said it, and it's a word quote, that the purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open one. And if these are the things that we want to put in place to be able to build a viral society and a viral economy and a viral outlook of tomorrow, then this government is not doing well. And I think a majority of our callers have stated that. The issue of what transpired in Emmanuel College, whether it's a group of old boys wanted to get money from diaspora, is neither here nor there. And if that stage was stage managed, then it's left for Emmanuel College to be able to say that. But it helps now to throw up the infrastructural decay in our education system, and that is where the issues should be based at. And when you look at that and be able to now look at, if you go to that same Emmanuel College, driving past, although there was a bit high, you can see most of the classrooms have not got any windows in it. You know, you must make learning, give it some priority and be able to make it conducive enough for the purpose to be able to now concentrate on what the teachers are saying. But when you get winds and rain flowing in from up and the roofs are leaking, then you know the distraction is there. Nobody's concentrating on what is being said or what is being taught in the classroom. So what we are looking at is a full gamut of oversight of this government. And it beggars belief when you said all sectors, they are doing well in all sectors. It's rightly smacking us in the face. But we have yes, I'm from PDP. Yes, I'm a member of the People's Democratic Party. But if you see every government, and that of the income, because I call it an incoming administration, and in I think they have married this 3R government, and by November 11 they will be able to make a decision. But looking at the document that's been churned out by the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, you look at somebody, an administration that is looking into an overall, because you have to start breaking this thing bit by bit and bit by bit, and from the first stage is be able to look at the data of schools and rebuilding the school infrastructure. And in this document they said they'll go about rebuilding the infrastructures of the school, and the administration looked at investing in modern facilities and ensuring that every child has access to safe and conducive learning environment. This is staring around what the issues is. The learning environment safe? Is it conducive enough? And the administration headed by distinguished Senator Samuel Anyanwu said they're going to look at these things and start providing the basic amenities, the conduciveness of the infrastructures and the schools, so that when people walk into that place, they know that the attention is what the teacher is saying and what the lecturer is saying, and then be able to now, you see, they mark up on the output of these performance indices, person to person, student to student, will now grow. Okay. And then secondly, they said after doing that, why they are doing that, they look at the teacher development incentives. You know, you need to be able to take into consideration the lecturers who are teaching you, the student, the teachers who are, and look at their personal evaluation, whether they are right and fit to be able to now discharge their duties as teachers. And they said the quality of education starts from the quality of teachers. That their policy will focus on professional development programs to equip teachers with the necessary skills and expertise that they need to be able to perform their function. And I think that is the best way to go, and that is the right way to go. And then once you get the students' environment conducive enough, get the teachers incentivized enough, get them send on trainings intermediately, you now look at the curriculum of the students, whether it meets the desire and the design of the current economy of the country or in the society now. And they said they're going to tinker with that and be able to incorporate what they call STEM, science, technology, engineering, arts and maths, and look at those areas as a core ingredient in the, so that you can diversify the minds of the peoples, so that those who are science inclined will go into science, those who are technology and art inclined will go into art. And vocational skill acquisition, you know, in the time when we were growing up, vocational schools are one of the things that people do. Exactly. You know, everybody doesn't learn on the same capacity, and we as Ndimo and Ndibo, we know that Akoro is very important. All right,
let's take some more calls. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Bob. I'm Uche. I'm calling from Water.
All right, Uche, go ahead.
It is important that those who talk about education are those who know what education is. I listened to the call of comments of the HX on whatever, and he talked just like his appointment is. He didn't talk according to his length. The appointment of teachers, quality and quality number of teachers in the education system in Imo is very important. Don't think of government college. Don't think of Holy Ghost College. Don't think of Emmanuel College. Get to the rural areas and you see what we are talking about. You see that we are breeding more illiterates in the rural areas than we want to breed. Listen, I am a school administrator and I work in the rural areas.
In the public school?
The rural areas.
Hello?
Yes, public school.
All right.
I'm not talking of private school.
Go ahead.
Public school. If I had my way, I would have asked Mr. Colin Owala to tell us whether his children are in any of the public schools in Unity. Whether he goes to any of the public schools in Unity. If not the community, if not the effort of individual principals of schools trying to relate with members of the community, most of those schools is just closed down. They are nothing to write home about. Our government is not doing well in the area of education. You know, you cannot see the result of education immediately. It is something that comes later in life. If you breed a very bad person from SS1 to SS3, you will not get the result of that person immediately. You will get the result later on. Therefore, when they are talking about education, they should not think of the gain or the quantity of clap they get from people before they talk about it. why they are interested in building roads, in building infrastructure, building this and that, is because those are the things that people see and clap for them. They are more interested in the class than whatever that we are going to do. I always tell people, it takes only one lion to drive away 1,000 sheep. So if you have your children in very wonderful schools, private schools, air-conditioned classrooms, and then you leave the rest of the people in the villages, you leave them to learn under trees. When they come out, they will still meet with those your children and will deal with them the way people who studied under trees behave, and not the people the way the people who studied in air-conditioned classrooms behave. Let them go to those colleges, those secondary schools that were built by the people of Imo State, the rural community. They built these schools, handed it over to them, and again they cannot even fund the school. They cannot post enough teachers in the school. They cannot recruit teachers into those schools. I am telling you, get to these rural areas, you will see people who are being employed by the PTA or by community members, which is out of the way. Go now, you will see some teachers whose names have been dropped from the payroll for almost 2 years now, and they are still teaching. How does the person bring out his or her best in the work when the person is not paid? And all the verification they have undergone, and we are still not paying them. How do you want them? Some of them go to school twice in a week. I know of one person who goes to school twice in a week because the name was dropped. Why? Because the lady changed her name from her maiden name to her marital name. This is civil service work. And then you drop the person's name. How do you want the person to become one that when he gets to the school? These are necessary things that people like Mr. Collins should look at, and not the politicians, not pushing it to any other political party or anti-government people. If we are talking about education, we are talking about educating our people, not question of what you do with your politics and what you do with your election. Thank you and God bless.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Uche there from World Bank. And of course, he had a lot of things to inform us about, speaking from his background as an educationist. Hello, good morning.
Good morning once again, sir. I so much have interested in this topic because education...
you didn't identify yourself. I've always said it. Once you call us, the first thing you need to do is to introduce yourself. It's very important you do that. Once you establish that connection, you move away from your radio set, or you turn down the volume on your radio set, then you introduce yourself before you make your contribution. That's the right thing to do. All right, the numbers are still 090-922-29922 or 091-226-77989, and I'll take that again, 090-922-29922 or 091-226-77989. And in case you're just joining us, is Morning Discourse right here on Boss Radio 98.9 FM. And this morning, our topic of discourse is the education sector and tomorrow's leadership. Taking a look at the education sector right here in Imo State, and of course trying to talk about the purported video. Yes, that's a video that went viral about some students of Emmanuel College here in Owerri that were actually taking classes while sitting on the floor, among other issues bordering on education. That's actually what we are looking at this morning, and you too can be part of the discourse. Call us on the numbers, and of course you will be able to ventilate on the topic this morning. 090 922 29922 or 091 226 77989. You can also drop your comments via our social media handles on Facebook, on Twitter, and YouTube, all at Boss Radio 98.9 FM Owerri, or our WhatsApp number on 0806 999 2999. Hello, good morning.
Morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I'm Francis calling from Omakoro.
All right, Francis, go ahead.
Okay, I'm very interested in what you people are discussing this morning.
All right, go.
So, concerning educational sector in Imo State, a lot of things are very wrong. So I was once a empower teacher in Imo State.
Okay.
So when I got the empower and I was posted to one of the schools, precisely comprehensive secondary school level.
Okay.
So it was there that I discovered that a lot of schools are very bad. So the state government is not really putting things in place concerning educational sector in Imo State. So both the structures and the facilities and even the number of teachers in Imo State teaching is not good.
Okay.
It's not good. When to compare to a standard of school. So the state governor needs many things are very wrong. Even the structures. Go to comprehensive secondary school, go to Amuta Technical Secondary School, so many schools, no good structures, no good fees. The teachers are, many of them are not, you see a teacher, one teacher that is handling almost 340. Why we needed so many teachers to occupy those positions. So I appeal to state governor to really fit up on these very issues we are discussing. It's very important because education is the key to success of a very nation or state. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much, Francis, for your contribution. All right. He also spoke from his experience as an Empower beneficiary. That's actually during the previous administration of Rocha Sokorocha, because that Empower program was a federal government program under the Muhammad Buhari administration. You're very much aware of that. All right, Chief Chuks Jelu, let me allow you react to some of the calls.
I think Uche from World Bank kind of encapsulated a lot of things from his experience and area of specialization. Like he said, educating our people is paramount, and he railed out a lot of things that he felt that should be addressed. And secondly, the last speaker, Francis from Amako here, who, like you said and like he said, was a beneficiary of the Empower teaching program. You know, the Emmanuel College saga has thrown light to the facilities and the structures and what we have on education. So we are not talking about Emmanuel College per se. Now we are looking at the generality of the facilities and educational system that we have in Imo State under this present government. Like majority of the callers have said, they need to pull their socks up and get to work. And like I said, and which is a given, if you want a continuation of your government, it is what you do that will guarantee that for you. And from the look of things and the aggregate performance of this government, they have poorly discharged that function. And they more are beginning to see an alternative in the candidature of distinguished Senator Samuel Nnemeka and the programs in education that he has. Like I said, and I was saying before you opened up the phone lines, these a team that are in tune with the yearnings and believe that education is a pivotal sector that needs to be re-energized and re-overhauled to give us the desired effect that we need.
All right, Chief Chuks, I really want to ask you, is it really about the structures and, of course, about churning out graduates by various schools, including the universities, or is it about the quality of education that should matter?
Absolutely, I agree with you 110%. Education, like we know, is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. And now, having said that, you need to equip an individual so that at the time T, you can be able to make a decisive. The important thing for a man or for somebody in life is to be able to have the ability to sustain yourself and be able to feed your family and be able to make good your contribution to society, pay your taxes, and be able to do all the things that are responsible of a citizen of a state. But the foundation is where we are as we speak. What are the things that you inculcate into these individuals that who are going to be future leaders or future individuals? Now, let us start from being a positive role model to yourself and to your family at the end of the day. So these are the issues that we need to interrogate. And if you believe in a government and you have given that government your vote to be able to guarantee these fundamental issues to deliver them, and they are not doing it, then what are the alternatives? And if you interrogate the alternatives that I'm bringing on board, and I've had a vision to be able to look at it, I believe that Ndimo should be able to now start verifying and interrogating what the manifestos that those who are seeking to occupy.
Okay, let's go a little bit beyond politics. I just asked, what the emphasis should be on. That is one. Two, is it really, should it be blamed on the crop of teachers we have or on government for failing to provide those infrastructures and facilities? That is one. Two, should we also blame the students who are not very much disposed to learn? What exactly is the problem of our educational sector?
It is a chain reaction to me. Because you start giving somebody the tools needed to be able to discharge the function that a person occupies, and who does the procurement of these tools, and who are the tools being handed over, and what is the benefit of the tools they are in. So you start from, like we start. Yes, the teachers have been I'm armed with a certificate. I'm a qualified teacher. Having looked at my certificate, you are now giving me a job. I believe, and my understanding is that you're going to provide me an enabling environment for me to discharge my profession to be to the best of my ability. So when I'm handicapped in doing that, then you're not blaming it on the teacher. You're blaming on the situation that he or she has found himself. Like Francis called from Amakoya, saying during his time in the Empower program, some teachers are handling 4 or 5 courses in a school. Is that the norm? During our time and my time, you identify your teacher by the course that she or he is giving you. That's my math teacher. That's my physics teacher. That's my chemistry teacher. You don't see one person say, that's my chemistry teacher. Oh, that's my physics teacher. The same person rolled a 1. So there's something wrong. And the time for us to fix it is yesterday, not today. These are the things that we have to put in place to be able now to interrogate the output that you're going to get, because what you put in is what you're going to get at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So the government must make that environment enabling enough for a teacher to walk in and be able to now discharge the functions of the profession. All teachers are proud teachers, and from time to time a responsive institution is supposed to say, okay, Eustace, like you're here now, it's okay, Eustace, you have discharged your function. I think you should enroll. There's a program of presentation or presenters called in Abuja. We see you as somebody fit enough to undergo a 3 or 4 months course to be able to get you in tune with the new technologies that are into radio presenting. So it is the establishment that will offer you those opportunities, having recognized your efforts in discharging your function. So are you from time to time sending out the teachers on periodic seminars, lectures, to be able to acquire more knowledge, to be able to dispatch that to the students? So these are a combination of factors, and then you now look at the output based on what you are putting into the facilities, the teachers, and then what are my students getting out of that to be able to now to arm them for the challenges ahead in the economy, i.e. finding a good job, paying their taxes, and being responsible citizens. So there's a combination effort. So, but the box lies on the table of the government. And in your discharging that function, like we said, the budget is a template by which you look and judge the government. What are the things you are putting in this document to be able to now start discharging these functions, training, facilities, and all those things? So if the government is not in tune in an educational sector, you see that they lack in that. So what I'm presenting to my brother Collins, who called from the government, is the disparity at the allocation to government office of 34 point something billion, and then into education, which is the contemporary, if it's the Patrick of it's the wiki haga of the society. A Patrick 17 point something billion. How do you equate that? How do you now say that this is a government that looks Indimo in the eye and say we are going to look out for your future? It is wrong.
All right. Of course, let's continue to talk about this topic, the education sector and tomorrow's leadership. That's what we are discussing here, right here on Boss Radio 98.9 FM. Remember, it's still morning discourse, and you can be part of the discourse this morning. The numbers still are 090 922 29922 or 091 226 77989. Keep the calls coming in. We'll try to take a few more calls, and it will be a wrap on the program this morning, generally looking at the education sector within the state and of course the nation at large. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Eustace Eke.
Good morning, Eustace Okere, actually.
Yeah, Eustace Okere, please answer about the mistake.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I am Ed Matthew Okore, and I'm graduating from Umukumadu, West Local Government Headquarters. This is how you doing today.
All right, I'm good, and you, Elder Matthew?
I'm fine too, thank you. You see, talking about education and its backwardness, which started some decades ago. It is not a new thing. It is something that we have seen and seen for 10 years and seen for 20 years and or more. So, to handle it, can you remember with the gentleman there in the studio with you? Can you remember that Adamu, when he was interviewed some time ago, he told Nigerians that he is sorry that he didn't know anything about education, but he was, chosen to be in the forefront of education in Nigeria by former Muhammadu Buhari, former President Muhammadu Buhari. You see, this is one of the things, one of the causes, of the downtrend in our educational sector. So it is something that we should know how to do. We have educationists in this nation. We have those who read education. We have those who read other things plus education. We have, people. When you talk about giving employment to somebody on a job he knows about, it's a different thing.
than giving someone a job he does not know how to handle. Except that Adamu told Nigerians that he didn't know anything about education, but he was giving the Minister of Education. Did we know? We didn't know. So this is one of the things, and it is still prevailing. So we talk about economists. We have many economists up to doctorate, up to professors, level, and all these people, they are here in Nigeria looking for what to do, looking for a good job to do for Nigerians. Not that they are seeking anyhow jobs to do, not at all. Looking to be invited for a very good position to handle in Nigeria. So when people like this are here, why are we still suffering? Suffering in the midst of plenty is a bad omen to Nigeria. So please, and you will not allow somebody, please, I'm just pleading with you, somebody who will jump into your studio 2 times, 3 times, talking and talking and talking is not proper. It's spoiling chances of others. So this is why I want to break it. Let the present government, both state and the federal level, give education position to an education, somebody who knows what he's doing. And that's my take this morning. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much, Elder Matthew, for your wonderful take and, of course, words of admonition. And on that note, I want to ask you, maybe Chief Chooks, okay, let's take 1 or 2 more calls, and then you take the question and probably your final words together. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yes, I'm Matthias from NAPTEP here in Owerri.
I didn't get your name, sorry.
I'm Matthias Onyebuchi here in Owerri.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Matthias.
Yes, I'm very, very happy with the topic. But I want to come in to another area.
Okay.
Especially the area of technical education.
All right.
If you look all through Imo State, we have 4 major technical schools. The one at Uro, the one at Otu, ETP, and Ahiara.
Okay.
If you can have time to go to those areas, you will see how dilapidated the areas are. Not only the buildings, even if you go to so many departments there, they are no longer exist. The teachers who normally teach those trades, most of them are retired.
Wow.
There are no teachers employed to replace those retired ones. As a result of that, so many trades are fading off, especially also where I was a few weeks ago. You see so many trades are no longer there, like general woodworks, like air conditioning and refrigerating. These are things which we ought to be doing now. Even the private schools, everybody is concerned about opening schools. They give them licenses for them to run schools. And when they run these schools, they run the same schools. When we have thousands of youths who are educated, who are technologically driven, but they lack somebody to support them. So I just want to make it very, very brief that the government of the day or the incoming government should focus more on technical education, so that it will help to boost the educational activity of our nation at large, and even Imo State as a state, rather than focusing on maybe you can get a very good building, painted building, good environment, but what is the quality of education there? Which are the areas we are focusing? So that is my stake this morning. Please let us look into that area of technical education. The former governor, Ihedioha, was about to start something when he started GTC, but the moment he was out from office, if you go there, the building, the structure is just there. Nothing is happening.
All right.
You go to GTC, all the buildings are collapsing. When they have carpentry and joinery department, they will still go out to look for people to come and replace those things, when there are people who ought to be doing those things from the school. So let me not take much of your time. Just look at those areas.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Matthias, calling us from NAPTEB. That is the National Board for Technical Education. Matthias Onyebuchi, thank you very much for your wonderful contribution to the program this morning. I think we need to start wrapping up at this point because we no longer have much time on our side. Time is just running. All right, I just wanted us to take one more call, then it will be a wrap. But all the same, let me allow you react to the calls, or rather I'll take this, then you react to all the calls as your final take this morning. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning once again. And finally, my name is Ebenezer, a native of Amakotangiri, but I'm calling from
Right, Ebenezer, your last caller. Okay, go ahead.
To make it brief. Then I would want the government to look into the payment of the teachers to increase it. Honestly, it is very, very important because all of us, we are taught by teachers. Please let that payment be increased to where it will be fitting. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ebenezer, for your quick take. All right, Chief Chooks Ajelu JP, let me allow you react.
I think let me dwell a bit on what Matt said, his opinion about looking at the area of technical education. And like I said, that the document that I have seen and read by distinguished Senator Samuel Anyang, the PDP Guba candidate, these are things encapsulated in his one-point agenda. These are the areas of diversity. Education must be looked at present-day Nigeria and present-day economy. When you equip people and give them a diverse learning skills, Ndibo will have this culture of being independent. You like to go to your office, work it up, and then do your job, eke out a living, and go to your home. And if vocational and technical education should be given a priority, I see that the PDP in their document laid some credence on that. And what Matt said is a collaboratory agreement that a PDP government, when he said that Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha was about to do something in that area. Like I said earlier today, a PDP government is a government that looks at the realities of today and be able to give Ndimo what they desire and look about their future for tomorrow. And the technical education is one of those areas. And skill acquisitions, these are things you have to diversify. People, some people are good in their skills, carpentry, designs, stuff. And then there's a lady that I saw on the YouTube that does shoes and slippers and stuff. I think she stays in Port Harcourt. I think she's from Imo or something, but she stays in Port Harcourt. And most of these slippers, these slip-ons we wear and women wear, she does it with ease. 30 minutes she knocks out a slip-on that you look and it compares to all you get in the foreign places. Wow. So when you give those skills and equip those individuals and give them the necessary enablement, you see that a lot of young youths, like I said, an Androman is a devil's workshop. When you get somebody occupied doing something, churning out, being a beneficial to his or her immediate environment, you see the dignity in labor. So those are the things that this administration or the incoming administration of distinguished Senator Samuel Anyang is advancing to Ndimo. And those are the areas that we have to look at. And Ndimo will do that by themselves in November 11th. And when they look at the educational sectors, like they said, they are giving it a priority, and the visions to further the child and the access to quality education is one of their top job. And they said teachers are empowered, and when you, like I said, when you give somebody the necessary tools to discharge those functions, you kind of grade them, you kind of see the output in what the performance of the students that are under their care. So I think education is one of the important areas that
education is one of the important areas. I must know that, and of course that's according to my guest right here in the studio, Chief Chuks Ajelu JP, who actually has been doing justice to the topic today. I want to thank you all sincerely for your contributions, the SA to the Governor on Public Communications, Honorable Sir Collins Ola. Thank you for coming at the program, he's calling in to clear the air on that video in circulation. I also thank you, Pastor Smart Naji, for your contribution. Actually, you happened to be our first caller for today. Thank you most sincerely, Ebenezer Frank. Well, my good friend from Works Layout, always calling. Prince Mokwara. Okay, thank you all for your contributions. Miss Uche, who called in from World Bank, Francis, who called in from Amakoya, Elder Matthew, and of course, my good friend from the NAPTEB, Matthias. Thank you all for your contributions in the program today. You are most sincerely appreciated. And for those